Good morning, guys. I think in the last class we were discussing about the laws of combination of chemical reactions, laws of chemical combination. Under this, we have seen the various laws that governs the chemical changes and chemical reactions. In this class, we are going to discuss about the some basic concepts such as Avogadro hypothesis, mole concept, etc. First we will start with the Avogadro hypothesis. As you all know, this is one of the important concepts which led to the idea of mole, and mole concept will begin with the Avogadro hypothesis. According to this Avogadro hypothesis, under similar conditions of temperature and pressure, gases occupying equal values contains equal number of molecules. This is we call Avogadro hypothesis. Under similar conditions of temperature and pressure being constant, all the gases that are occupying equal volume will contain equal number of molecules. Right? According to this concept, what is the main conclusion is that the volume occupied by gases under similar conditions of temperature and pressure will be directly proportional to number of molecules. Where there is number of molecules. Right? So, as the number of molecules increase, volume occupied will also increase. Right? It is directly proportional to n. And we can also write as by using a proportionality constant V equal to K. From this, what we can write? V upon will be equal to K. Right? V upon M will be constant under similar conditions of temperature and pressure. From this, we can derive one more formula, that is V1 N1 equal to V2 N2. Right? Generally, at ST, what is mean by ST? STP stands for standard temperature and pressure. What is mean by standard temperature and pressure? The temperature equal to 0 degrees Celsius or 273.15 Kelvin, and pressure equal to 180 or which is also equal to 760 centimeter of mm, 760 centimeter of Hg or 76 centimeter of Hg, or you can also say 760 mm of Hg. This temperature and pressure is generally regarded as standard temperature and pressure, which is generally called as STP. At STP, right? At STP, 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liters or 22,400 ml of volume. Right? This is we call molar value. What do we call this? This is we call molar value. What is molar value? At ST, that is 0 degrees Celsius or 273.15 Kelvin or 1 atmosphere pressure. Right? 1 mole of any gas. We'll discuss what is meant by mole later. As you already studied mole, you already know about mole. Okay? Number of particles that is equal to Avogadro number are generally called as mole. Right? Molar value is generally at STP, molar value is equal to how much it is? 22.4 liters. That means 1 mole of any gas at STP is equal to what? At STP occupies 22.4 liters. This is called molar value. Right? What about 2 moles? 2 moles of any gas at STP occupies 44.8 liters. What about half mole of any gas at STP occupies 11.2 liters of value is, right? This is we call molar value, right? Generally this is only applicable when ST, right? Suppose if temperature and pressure are not constant, what happens? Volume changes according to that. Suppose if there is an increase in the temperature, what happens? Volume also increases. If there is an increase in pressure, what happens? Volume decreases. So in order to obey this Avogadro hypothesis, the temperature and pressure must be kept constant. Okay. From this we come across with an idea called molar value, right? What is meant by molar value? Volume of a gas occupied by one mole of gas generally equal to 22.4 liters, right? Any 1 mole of any gas. Suppose if you take a hydrogen gas, when you are saying 1 mole of hydrogen gas at STP occupies, what is the value? 22.4 liters. 1 mole of oxygen also occupies the same value. 1 mole of carbon dioxide also occupies the same. Any gas you take, if it is 1 mole, it always occupies 22.4 liters, right? This is about the Avogadro hypothesis. Now let us see what is meant by mole. Mole means the general denoted with the number of moles are denoted with n, right? It is the number of chemical entities that are equal to the number of atoms that are present 12 grams of carbon C12 isotope, or 0.012 kgs or 12 grams of carbon. Basically, this 12 grams of carbon C12 isotope contains number of atoms equal to 6.022 into 10 power 23 atoms, right? This particular number, what is the number? This 6.022 into 10 power 23 is generally regarded as Avogadro number. What is called Avogadro number, which is denoted with n naught, right? Whenever you say 1 mole of particles, 1 mole always stands for Avogadro number. What is Avogadro number? 6.022 into 10 power 23 particles. As generally when you say pair always indicates 2. When you say dozen always indicates 12, right? When you say score always indicates 20. In a similar manner, whenever you are saying mole, 1 mole always stands for a number. What is that number called? Avogadro number. What is this Avogadro number? It is equal to 6.022 into 10 power 23. Sometimes we will also write 6.023 into 10 power 23. There's a 2-3 doesn't make much difference. If for the simplification of problem, sometimes we directly take 6 also, right? So where from this number has come? This is the number of atoms that are present in 12 grams of carbon C12 isotope, right? 12 grams of carbon C12 isotopes contains these many number of particles, and these particles is being taken as standard for 1 mole, and it is defined as Avogadro number. 1 mole always will be equal to Avogadro number, right? That will contain 6.022 into 10 power 23 particles. These particles can be anything. Where this particle stands for, whenever you are saying particles, it can be either atoms. These particles can be atoms, or these particles can be molecules, or these particles can be ions, or these particles can be electrons. or these particles can be protons, or these particles can be neutrons, or any other units, whatever you are referring, right? If you say 1 mole of atoms, suppose, for example, let us say 1 mole of hydrogen atom. What is mean by 1 mole of hydrogen atom? It indicates that 6.022 in power 23 hydrogen atoms, right? Suppose if you say 1 mole of hydrogen molecule, what is mean by this? It will also be equal to 6.022 into 10 power 23 hydrogen molecules. Suppose if you say 1 mole of electrons, what is mean by 1 mole of electrons? Right? 1 mole of electron will also equal to 6.02 into 10 power 22 electrons. If you say 1 mole of protons, right? So you can mention here, after mentioning this mole, you should specify the particle, whether you are talking about atom, or you are talking about molecules, or you are talking about electrons or protons or neutrons, right? This 1 mole always stands for Avogadro number, which is 6.022 into 10 power 20. This is very, very important word. Actually, the main concept of this chapter only the mole concept. This mole concept is the basis for the entire chemistry. We frequently come across this molar masses, right? Number of moles. So in order to determine all these things, we should have the awareness regarding this mole, right? Now, generally this mole is also defined as it is equal to the number of particles that are present in 1 mole of any substance, right? 1 mole of any substance contains how many particles? This many number of particles will be contained in 1 mole of any particle, right? Basically, this number of moles can be determined from various aspects. Right? Moles can be determined from mass, or from value, or from number of particles. Number of particles. Suppose, if you know mass of a substance, you can find the number of moles. If you know volume of a substance, you can also find out the number of moles. If you know number of particles, you can also find out the number of moles of the given substance, right? And if you know number of moles, you can calculate the mass of a substance. If you know number of moles of a substance, you can calculate the volume occupied by the substance. If you know number of moles of a particular substance, you can also calculate number of particles in that particular substance. So this is it has very wide range of applications. Let us see. Suppose if you want to find out mass of a substance from number of moles, so here this mole should be multiplied with molar mass. We will see what is mean by molar mass, right? Or we say gram molecular mass, or we say gram atomic mass. Suppose if you want to find out the mass of a substance when you know number of moles, so when this number of moles are multiplied with gram molecular mass or gram atomic mass, it gives the mass of that particular substance. Or otherwise, right? If you know the mass, if you want to find out the number of moles, then we have to divide this mass with molar mass or gram atomic mass or gram molar mass. Now, if you know the value, or if you know the number of moles, if you want to find out the value occupied by the substance, then it should be multiplied with 22.4 liters or 22,400 ml. Right? If you know the value occupied by the substance, if you want to find out the number of moles, then also what you have to do? Yes, sir. Divide the value with 22.4 liters. It also gives the number of moles of the substance. Now, if you know the number of particles, if you know the number of particles, if you know the number of particles, right? If you want to find out the number of particles from moles. Then multiply the number of moles with Avogadro number. Alright? If you want to find out the number of moles from number of particles, divide the number of particles with Avogadro number. Where N0 is what? N0 stands for Avogadro number. So what is meant by this? Here, if you want to determine the formulas for number of moles, it can be given mass upon, what is this? Molar mass or gram molar mass or gram atomic mass, or it can also be found out from, what is this? If you know the value, you have to divide this with 22.4 liters. Alright? If you know the number of particles must be, right, divided by Avogadro number. What is that Avogadro number? Right? This either of the formula will give the number of moles. Right? Here it can be anything. Here it can be mass of the substance, or may also take gram atomic mass. Gram atomic mass or molar mass. We'll see what is meant by gram atomic mass and molar mass further in this concept. Now, these are some basic formulas. We can find out anything if you know one thing. Right? If you know the value, you can find out the number of moles. If you know the number of moles, you can find out the value. If you know the value, you can also calculate the mass. If you know the value, you can also calculate the number of particles. We will see the applications later. Now, suppose, let us see how these questions can be framed on this mole concept. For example, you may have a question like this. Calculate charge of 1 mole of electrons. Calculate charge on 1 mole of electrons. First of all, we should know what is the charge on 1 electron. If you want to calculate the charge on 1 mole of electrons, first of all, you should know what is the charge on 1 electron. Right? 1 electron always carries charge of 1 electron. Charge of 1 electron is always equal to 1.6022 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So now what is asking the questions? He is asking us to calculate the charge on 1 mole of electrons. 1 mole of electrons. How to find out this? When you multiply the charge of 1 electron with Avogadro number, what is 1 mole Avogadro number? You will get the charge on 1 mole of electron. What is the charge on 1 mole of electron? 1.6022 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs into what is Avogadro number? 6.022 into 10 power 20. If you simplify this, you will get an answer approximately 96,500 coulombs, which is called as, this 96,500 coulombs is generally equal to 1 Faraday. What is this? What is F stands for you? This F stands here 1 Faraday. What is 1 Faraday? It is approximately equal to 96,500 coulombs. Right? Like this, you may be asked to calculate number of electrons in a given particular substance. You may be asked to calculate number of protons in a given substance. You may be asked number of neutrons in a given substance. Right? You may be asked to calculate by giving mass number of particles present in a particular substance. Right? We will see all these type of different questions once we discuss about the gram atomic masses and molar masses. Right? This is about the concept of mole, which is being introduced by Avogadro from the Avogadro hypothesis. Right? Always remember that mole is the number of particles that are equal to the Avogadro number. What is Avogadro number? Avogadro number is always equal to 6.02 into 10 power 23. It is always particles. You need to specify what particle you are speaking about, whether you are talking about electrons or whether you are talking about protons or whether you are talking about atoms or whether you are talking about whatever the particle you are referring, that should be mentioned after the mole. Right? Hope it is clear so far. Now we will discuss about. So we will see all the basic terms such as atomic masses, atomic number, molar masses, molar, gram, molecular masses, and after that we will see the applications of mole concept. I just gave the idea about the mole concept. Later we will see the what are the different ways of questions that can be framed on the mole concept. For that we should understand what are molar masses, what are gram atomic masses. See, first of all, let us see what is atomic mass. Atomic mass. Let us see what is mean by atomic mass. Right? Generally, there are two terms. One is atomic mass and another one is atomic mass number. Atomic mass as well as mass number. There is a, most of you guys have a misconception that these two terms are same. Actually, these two terms are not same. Right? Atomic number is different from mass number. First of all, let us see what is meant by atomic number. Atomic number is actually, it is the number that indicates how many times of an atom of an element. This is a number that indicates how many times of an atom of an element is heavier than 1/12 part of mass of one atom of carbon C12 isotope. Right? This is the number. Atomic mass, generally it is a number that indicates how many times of an atom of an element is heavier than that of 1/12 part of mass of one atom of carbon C12 isotope. Right? Just the number which indicates how many times. Here we have taken this 1/12 part of mass of one atom of carbon is taken as a reference to express the atomic masses of elements, as it is an exact number which does not include any fact. Earlier the atomic masses are expressed in terms of hydrogen, later in terms of oxygen, in terms of chlorine also, but the most ideal way and most optimized way of expressing the atomic masses in comparison with the mass of carbon C12, that is 1/12 part of mass of one carbon atom of C12 isotope, is taken as a reference. Right? That means generally atomic mass of an atom is generally expressed in AMU or unified masses. What is mean by AMU? AMU means atomic mass unit. The same manner, U means unified mass. Both are same only. There is no much difference between unified mass and atomic masses. Now, one AMU is equal to, what is this? 1/12 mass of one atom of carbon. That is generally 1/12. Generally mass of one carbon atom. Mass of one carbon atom in grams is 1.9926 into 10 power minus 23 grams. What is AMU? From this we can find out the AMU. It is 1.9926 into 10 power minus 23 grams upon 12. Right? Which comes to be equal to 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 grams. One AMU is equal to one unified mass or one atomic mass is always equal to 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 grams, or we can also say 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. Right? Now, what is mean by this? According to this, how we can define the atomic masses? Atomic mass of hydrogen is 1.008 AMU. right? In carbon state, carbon C2 state. In the same way, atomic mass of oxygen is 15.995 AMU. Approximately we take it as 60 AMU. We take it as, right? In the same way, if you are talking about chlorine, atomic mass of chlorine is on the carbon state, it will be 35.5, right? AMU it is, right? This is a number which tells how many times it is heavier than 1/12 part of carbon C2 isotope. That means hydrogen atom is, it is 1.008 times heavier than 1/12 part of mass of one carbon atom of carbon C2 isotope. Whereas this oxygen atom is heavier than 15.99 times, or we can say 60 AMU. This is the meaning of atomic mass. Generally, mass of one atom, you have to remember that mass of one atom is expressed in AMU or unified units. Right? This is about the atomic mass. Right? Now, let us see what is meant by mass number. There is a difference between mass number and atomic mass. Right? Mass number is the sum of number of protons and number of neutrons in one atom of an isotope of an element. It is the sum of number of protons and neutrons in one atom of isotope of an element, and this will be always a whole number value. Atomic mass number is always a whole number. It cannot be fractional. This is a very important. Whereas atomic number can be a fractional. Generally, what are the atomic numbers we use? They are average atomic numbers. That means when you take the average atomic masses of all the isotopes of naturally existing isotopes of an element, that will give the atomic mass of an element, which we call average atomic mass, which we are going to discuss about this. Atomic mass will be a fractional number or whole number, but whereas mass number will be always a whole number, it cannot be a fractional number. That is what you need to importantly remember. Atomic number can be either fractional or whole number, but whereas mass number cannot be fractional, it has to be always whole number, because number of atoms, number of protons and neutrons will be always a whole number. They cannot be fractional. So because of that, the mass number will be always has to be whole number ratio. Right? Now, let me tell you an example of this. Suppose we are talking about the chlorine. Chlorine exists in two isotopic form. Chlorine 35 as well as chlorine 36. These are the two isotopes. Right? Mass number of chlorine has to be either 35 or 36. If you are talking about chlorine 35, the mass number will be 35. If you are talking about chlorine 37, the mass number will be 37. But atomic mass of chlorine will be 35.5, which is an average of these two. Don't say that average of these two will not equal to 35.5. Here, by calculating average of atomic mass, we will also consider the percentage of natural abundance. We will see that in the discussion of average atomic masses. So far, remember that here, if you are talking about mass number of chlorine has to be either 35 or 37, depending upon what isotope you are speaking. Whereas atomic mass of chlorine is 35.5. This is important thing to be noted. And there are different types of atomic masses. These atomic masses, based on the how they are expressed, atomic mass can be different types of atomic masses are there, such as absolute atomic mass, relative atomic mass, as well as gram atomic mass, it is also called as gram atoms, and average atomic masses. You need to understand all these terms clearly. What is atomic number, what is mass number, what is absolute atomic mass, what is relative atomic mass, what is gram atomic mass or gram atom, and what is average atomic mass. We will see one by one all these things. absolute atomic mass. This is mass of one atom of element expressed in grams. This is the mass of one atom of element expressed in grams, is called as absolute atomic mass. Basically, suppose if we are talking about hydrogen atomic mass on carbon scale, this is 1 AMU unit. Right? Whenever you are specifying AMU or unified mass, you are talking about mass of one atom. Right? Here, mass of one atom of an element expressed in grams is called as absolute mass. Right? The absolute mass will be of hydrogen will be equal to what is this? 1 AMU. What is AMU? AMU is equal to what? 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 grams. So how much it comes? It comes to be equal to 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 grams. This is the absolute atomic mass of hydrogen. And there is another term which is relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass, it is in comparison with the other atomic mass such as carbon. But this relative atomic mass generally does not possess any unit. Simply relative atomic mass of hydrogen will say 1. Right? And when you are talking about gram atomic mass, or this is also called gram atom. What do we call this? Gram atom. This is very important. Right? The mass of atomic mass of 1 mole of atoms expressed, 1 mole of atoms is known as gram, or we can also say atomic mass of 1 mole of atoms, or otherwise we can also say atomic mass expressed in grams is known as gram atom or gram atomic mass. This gram atom is also generally equal to 1 mole. Whenever you are saying gram atom, you are talking about the mass of 1 mole of atoms in gram. Generally, atomic mass of 1 mole of atoms expressed in grams is called as gram atom or gram atomic masses. Right? Now, generally, if you see for example, gram atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 gram. Right? How to get this 1 gram? Generally, see, we know that mass of atomic mass of one atom, mass of one hydrogen atom is equal to 1 AMU. But what we want? Right? We want atomic mass of 1 mole of hydrogen atoms. In grams we want. We want in grams. Mass of 1 mole of atoms expressed in grams is called as gram atomic mass. So how to get this? If you want in grams, this AMU should be converted into grams. What is the conversion factor? The conversion factor is equal to, what is this? 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 grams into how many molecules, how many atoms we need? 1 mole. That means you need to multiply with 1 mole. What is 1 mole? Avogadro number. So that means 1 into 1.67 into 10 power minus 24 grams into 6.022 into 10 power 23. Now when you simplify this entire terms comes to be equal to 1 into 1 gram, which is nothing but 1 gram. Right? Gram atomic mass or gram atomic mass of any element will be equal to its atomic mass unit in grams. Generally we know that mass of one hydrogen atom is 1 AMU, and what will be gram atomic mass of one hydrogen? 1 gram. In the similar manner, we know that what is the atomic mass of helium? We know that it is 4 atomic mass, whereas gram atomic mass will become 4 grams. So we are getting this. If you are talking about lithium is 7 grams. In the similar manner, we can write remaining elements also. If you are talking about let me write here. If you are talking about beryllium will be 9 grams, boron will be 11 grams, carbon will be 12 grams. These are gram atomic masses. And in the similar way, nitrogen will be 14 grams, right? If you are talking about oxygen will be 16 grams, gram atomic mass are gram atoms. Or if you are talking about fluorine will be 19 grams. And if you are talking about neon will be 20 grams. And sodium is 23 grams, magnesium is 24 grams, aluminium is 27 grams, silicon is 28 grams, and phosphorus is 31 grams, sulfur is 32 grams, chlorine is 35.5 grams, and argon is 40 grams, potassium is 39 grams, and calcium is 40 grams. So closer, right? These are the some gram atomic masses of certain atoms. Right? The only difference is that between the atomic mass unit and gram atomic mass is that mass of one atom is generally expressed in atomic masses units or unified masses, whereas mass of 1 mole of atoms in grams is expressed in gram atomic mass or gram atom. Gram atom is nothing but mass of 1 mole of atoms in grams is called gram atom or gram atomic masses. Right? Hope it is clear so far. Now, the important thing is that if you want to calculate number of gram atoms, or generally we can also say number of moles of atoms. It is nothing but number of gram atoms or number of moles of atoms is generally calculated from mass of the atom, mass of the substance, upon what is this? Gram atomic mass. Are you getting this? Number of gram atoms. We can also say number of moles of atoms. Nothing but the same. Number of moles of atoms or number of gram atoms is same. 1 gram atom will be equal to 1 mole of atom. Number of gram atoms in the sense number of moles. Should not confuse number of moles of atoms with number of gram atoms. Both are same only. Right? If you want to find out number of atoms, then number of atoms will be equal to number of gram atoms or number of moles of atoms into Avogadro number. Right? These are the two formulas by using which you can calculate the number of gram atoms of a substance or number of atoms of a substance. For example, we'll see an example. Calculate the number of gram atoms and number of atoms of following substances. For example, let us take we have 32 grams of fluorine. In 32 grams of oxygen, find out number of gram atoms as well as number of atoms. Right? 32 grams of oxygen. Right? Now, we know that number of gram atoms right? Number of gram atoms of oxygen is equal to mass of oxygen upon gram atomic mass. What is the mass given? 32 grams. And what is the gram atomic mass? 60. How much it comes? 2 gram atoms. What are the number of atoms? Number of gram atoms? 2 atoms. Or otherwise we can say 2 moles. Right? And how to calculate the number of atoms of oxygen? Right? How to get it? Number of gram atoms into number of gram atoms into Avogadro number. What is number of gram atoms? 2. And what is Avogadro number? 6.022 into 10 power 23. Are you getting? How much it comes? It comes to be 12.44 into 10 power 20 atoms. Are you getting this? Right? Here, most of the times you will confuse gram atoms with gram atoms are different from number of moles of atoms. Number of moles of atom as well as number of gram atoms both are same only. We will do one more questions like this. Suppose we can also take find out the number of gram atoms in 150 grams of sodium. Number of gram atoms in 150 grams of sodium. How to find out? Right? What is the formula to calculate the number of gram atoms? Mass of the substance upon gram atomic mass. What is the mass given? 150 grams. And what is the gram atomic mass of sodium? Gram atomic mass of sodium is how much it is? 23. So how much it comes? 115 upon 23. How much it comes? 5 gram atoms. Nothing but 5 moles of sodium atoms. And if you are talking about number of atoms, this is number of gram atoms. And what about number of atoms? Number of atoms will be equal to number of gram atoms into Avogadro number. How many gram atoms? 5 gram atoms. And what is Avogadro number? That means 5 moles we say. Or otherwise just multiply with this. 10 power 20. This many number of particles. Right? This is how we have to calculate the number of gram atoms as well as number of atoms from a given substance. Right? Like this you can calculate so many things. For example, if I calculate the number of gram atoms as well as number of atoms in 1 milligram of hydrogen. Right? Here you have to take the mass of the substance in grams. So you have to take mass of the substance in grams you have to take. This is important. But if you see here the mass is given in milligrams. This should be converted into milligrams. If you want to convert number of gram atoms, right? This milligram should be converted into grams. We know that 1 milligram is equal to 10 power minus 3 grams. And what is the gram atomic mass of hydrogen? Gram atomic mass of hydrogen is 1. So how much it comes? 10 power minus 3 gram atoms it comes. And what about the number of atoms of hydrogen? Number of atoms of hydrogen are equal to number of gram atoms into Avogadro number. What is this? 10 power minus 3 into 6.022 into 10 power 23, right? Which comes to be 6.022 into 10 power 20 atoms, right? Mass can be given either in kgs or in micrograms or in milligrams. In any units they can be given, but here, while using this number of gram atoms formula, we should use the mass in the grams, because what is meant by gram atom? It is the mass of 1 mole of substance in grams. So because of that reason, the mass should be also in the grams. So this is one thing you have to keep in mind. This is about the gram atomic mass. And we'll see what is meant by average atomic mass. Average atomic mass. Average atomic mass. It is the average atomic masses of all naturally occurring isotopes of an element. Isotopes of an element. Generally, we know that every element has different types of isotopes, and among those isotopes, some of them may be available in higher abundances, some of them may be present in lower abundances. So, generally, what are the atomic masses we use? They are average atomic masses, right? Generally these average atomic masses can be found out from the, it is the, can use a formula m into a plus n into b upon n plus n, where m and n are natural abundance, percentage of natural abundance of isotopes, and a and b are atomic masses, isotopes of an element, right? For example, if you take a boron exists in two stable isotopes, that is boron 10 as well as boron 11. If you see the natural percent abundancy of boron 10 it is around 20%, and this is around 80%. So from this, if you want to calculate the average atomic mass of boron, which will be equal to, what is this? Here this is, if you assume this 20% is equal to m, then 80% is equal to n. If you put this down in the formula, you will get that is 20 into 10 plus 80 into 11 upon 20 plus 8, right? Now on simplification, what you get this? You simplify this. You get that this will come about 10.8 grams, right? The average atomic mass of boron is generally, what is this? 10.8. In a similar way, you can also take one more example. If you take chlorine, chlorine also exists in two stable isotopes. One is chlorine 35 as well as chlorine 37. The natural abundance of this chlorine 35 it is about 75%, and this is about 25%. How we come to know about these natural percentages? Based on their availability in the nature, we will come to know how much percentage of particular isotope is existing in the nature. So from this, if we calculate the average atomic mass of chlorine, which comes to be equal to, what is this? 75 into 35 plus 25 into 37 upon 100, which comes to be 35.5. Now what you observe among this from this calculation? See, this average atomic mass generally lies in between the atomic masses of isotopes. It lies in between the lowest atomic mass of an isotope to the highest mass of an atomic mass of an isotope. Generally, it will be closer to the atomic mass of particular isotope whose percentage is very high. If you see boron exists up to 80% in B11 because of its average atomic mass is closer to 11. That is how much it is? 10.8. And if you observe about the chlorine exists in two isotopes, 35 as well as 37. If you observe their percentage, 75 and 25. Right? Now, this CF35 is more in abundance. Because of that reason, its average atomic mass is close to, what is this? 35.5. This is about the average atomic masses of atoms. Hope it is clear so far. The remaining, that's all for today. Remaining we will continue in the next class.